How to hack your perception and see true reality. You know that feeling? You learn a new word or notice a specific kind of car, and then all of a sudden you see it everywhere. You might chalk it up to coincidence, but it's not, it's a clue. It's your brain showing you a little secret about how it operates. For decades, scientists and philosophers have been exploring a wild idea that your brain is actively filtering out the vast majority of your reality. This video isn't just about what you're seeing, it's about what you're not seeing. We'll explore how you can use some powerful biohacks to pull back the curtain and get a glimpse of what's truly there. We're going to break down the science that suggests your reality is a personalized construction, and then give you the tools to start glitching the system and rebuilding it by choice. Section 1. Your brain is a VR headset. Let's kick things off with a provocative but scientifically backed statement. What you perceive as the world around you is more of a user interface than a direct window into reality. Think about the screen on your laptop. You see a neat little folder icon, you click it, and your document opens. But is the document really inside that little yellow picture? Of course not. The icon is a simple symbol that hides the ridiculously complex world of transistors, voltage, and code working inside the machine. You don't need to know the code to use the computer. You just need the interface. Cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman argues that evolution has shaped our brains to do the exact same thing. Our senses didn't evolve to show us objective reality as it truly is. They evolved for one primary reason: to help us survive long enough to reproduce. Evolution favors fitness, not truth. Trying to see the full, unfiltered, multidimensional complexity of the universe would be completely overwhelming. It would be like trying to write an email by manipulating the raw code in your computer. You'd be frozen. So, evolution gave us a headset, a biological VR system that simplifies everything. It turns reality into simple icons. This is a rock, that is a tree, this is danger, that is food. These perceptions are useful, but they aren't the literal truth. As Hoffman says, if you see a train symbol coming at you, you should definitely step off the tracks. But it's a logical leap to think that because you have to take the symbol seriously, you also have to take it literally. Neuroscience has a name for this: predictive coding. Your brain isn't just passively soaking up information like a camera. It is constantly and actively guessing what's out there based on your past experiences. It creates a simulation of the world, and your senses, your eyes, your ears, are mostly just sending back error reports. A huge part of what you experience as reality is actually a kind of controlled hallucination, a prediction made by your own mind. We're all living in a world built from the inside out, not the other way around. Section 2. The 3 biohacks to glitch the system. So, if you're living inside a simulation created by your own brain, what does that mean for you? It means you're not just a passive audience member. You can actually influence the programmer. You can learn to hack your own perception. Here are 3 powerful ways to get started. Hack number 1. Directing your filter, the RAS hack. Remember the car example? That's largely managed by a part of your brainstem called the reticular activating system, or the RAS. The RAS is basically the bouncer standing at the velvet rope of your consciousness. It decides what sensory information is important enough to get your attention and what just gets filtered out as background noise. If you don't consciously give the RAS your guest list, it just runs on old, subconscious programming, your fears, your habits, your limiting beliefs. The hack, then, is to become the one who gives the orders. You do this through conscious intention. When you decide what you want to focus on, whether it's opportunities, reasons to be grateful, or a solution to a nagging problem, you are programming your RAS to spot it. If you wake up and consciously set the intention, today I am going to look for evidence of kindness, your brain will begin to actively highlight moments of kindness it previously would have ignored. It's not that more kindness is suddenly happening. It's that you've told your personal filter to let that information through. What you consistently focus on starts to become your reality because you've commanded your brain to make it so. Hack number 2, becoming no one, nowhere, the Dispenza method. This second hack goes even deeper. It's inspired by the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, a neuroscientist who studies how we can rewire our brains through meditation. He argues that most of us are stuck in a loop. We wake up, think the same thoughts, which trigger the same feelings, which drive the same actions. This cycle hardwires our brain to live in the past, constantly recreating the same limited reality. The hack is to break that cycle by shifting your awareness from somebody to nobody. Through a specific style of meditation, you can pull your attention away from the physical world. You start by becoming aware of the space around you, the space in the room, the space your body takes up, and even the space inside your body. By placing your attention on this nothingness, this field of potential, you disconnect from your identity, your problems, your schedule, and your body. You become pure consciousness. When you're in this state, your brain's default mode network, the part responsible for all that self-obsessed mind chatter, quiets down. A fascinating 2025 study on Dispenza's retreats found that this type of intensive meditation can create neural patterns similar to those seen with psychedelics. The researchers noted that these changes promote neuroplasticity, essentially creating a biological reset. You're no longer stuck in the same old thought patterns from your past. Instead, you're in a state of pure potential. From this place, you can decide on a new future and begin to feel the emotions of it before. It happens by combining a clear intention with an elevated emotion. You're teaching your brain and body a new way of being. You stop being a victim of your past and start becoming the creator of your future. Hack number 3, questioning the interface, the Hoffman hack. The final hack is a mental workout, a cognitive exercise inspired by Donald Hoffman's work. It's the simple, consistent practice of questioning your own perceptions. We're all so sure that what we see is real. We see a red tomato and we think, that is a red tomato. But Hoffman's theory suggests that the redness and the shape are just symbols created by our internal interface. The objective reality, whatever it might be, is probably not red or round. The hack is to weave this awareness into your day. When you look at the moon, ask yourself, is the moon really up there when I'm not looking at it? When you taste a strawberry, ask, is this sweetness in the fruit? Or is it a data point my mind just created? The point isn't to drive yourself crazy. It's to loosen the grip of certainty. This exercise trains your brain to be more flexible and less rigid in its predictions. It creates a little gap of curiosity between a stimulus and your response to it. By reminding yourself that you're just interacting with a user interface, you stop being a slave to it. An insult doesn't have to automatically trigger anger. A traffic jam doesn't have to automatically trigger stress. You can recognize them for what they are. Icons on your screen, and you can choose not to click on them. This practice helps you detach from the drama on the interface and connect with the calm, quiet awareness that's actually running the show. If any of this is clicking for you, and you want to explore more tools for taking control of your reality, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We've got a lot more coming. And now I've got a question for you. Have you ever experienced a glitch in your own reality? A weird coincidence? A moment that didn't make sense? Or a sudden feeling of profound clarity? Share your story in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going. Section 3. The bigger picture. Are we in a simulation? All of this leads to a much bigger, more mind-bending question. If our brain is a biological VR headset that filters and builds our reality, who or what is wearing it? This line of thinking takes us straight to the simulation hypothesis, a thought experiment popularized by philosopher Nick Bostrom and figures like Elon Musk. The argument goes like this: if any civilization ever gets to a point where it can create ultra-realistic simulations of reality, it would probably create billions of them. If that's true, then statistically speaking, it's far more likely we are living in one of those simulations than in the one original base reality. For a long time, this was just fun late-night philosophy, but the idea is being debated more and more, even if it remains highly speculative. As our own technology gets more advanced, the idea feels a little less like science fiction every day. We are already building the very technologies that this theory describes. Brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, are a perfect example. Companies like Neuralink and Synchron are developing devices that allow the human brain to directly interact with computers and robotic limbs just by thinking. These technologies show that a direct link between conscious thought and a digital environment is possible. They're like the first-generation prototypes of the very headset you might be wearing right now. Thinking about this isn't just a fun mental game. It reframes the hacks we just talked about. If we are in a simulation, then directing your focus with the RAS hack is like telling the program which parts of the world you want it to render. Meditating to get beyond your analytical mind is like trying to access the underlying code to write a new outcome for your character. And questioning your perceptions is like reminding yourself that it's all just a game, which gives you the freedom to play it differently. Conclusion. We started with a simple observation, that feeling when you suddenly see a new car model everywhere. We ended up on the very edge of what we call reality, but the core message is this: your perception is not a passive window looking out at the world. It is an active, creative process. For most of your life, that process has likely been running on autopilot, guided by old programming designed for one thing: survival. But you have the power to take the wheel. By consciously directing your attention, by using meditation to connect with a state of infinite possibility, and by questioning the very nature of what you see, you can start to deconstruct your old reality and build a new one. You can stop being a passive viewer of the show and start being the director. The greatest hack of all is realizing you might not just be a character in the game. You might just be the one holding the controller. It's time to start playing.